one of the best things, Carlos, is I've known you for over 10 years.
Yes. Yeah.
And I remember the early days. And we've grown together as friends, seen each other, supporting each other in different ways. You know the journey I'm on, and
That's right.
I've seen the journey that you're on.
Yeah.
To share that with others, you know, the stories behind it. That's the intent.
Exactly.
And getting this time with you now on a beautiful day like this,
It's so
getting
nice.
outside.
Yeah.
But I know people want to know more. You know,
Yeah.
what makes Carlos Carlos?
Yeah, totally. So we'll jump right into it. So I grew up in Baltimore, Maryland. I have a sister. My parents and I grew up in the suburbs of Baltimore for a little while. Then we moved into the city for a little bit.
And this is back in the 70s or 80s?
This was late 70s.
Late
so
70s?
70. I was born in 78.
Okay.
Don't televise that. But I was born in 78. And then it was the mid 80s that we were in Baltimore and whatnot. And from the moment I opened my eyes, not as a baby, but when I remember the earliest was 5 years old. And understanding that Baltimore was like, it's a very nice city, but it wasn't the city for me.
Okay.
It wasn't where I was going to become the person that I am today. But nevertheless, I had a lot of great upbringing in Baltimore. My grandparents, my parents, my uncle, my aunt, my cousins, they all helped raise me to be the person that I am today.
So it was a tribe.
It was a tribe.
Yeah,
It was a total tribe.
Yeah.
And at a very young age, I always knew that I wanted to do something great for this world. My sister always likes to tell me the story about how I told her she wanted to save the world, and I wanted to save the world too, but I said, you can't save the world, Carnisha, because I'm going to be the one saving the world. But we can actually do it together, and that's actually what we're doing. She's up in Philadelphia doing a lot for the community up there, and I'm down here in Washington helping people get their health right. Yes, exactly.
And we got it right. We've gotten it right.
We've gotten it right, yeah. So, So I wanted to do something great. I always knew I wanted to do that. I've always been very optimistic, very upbeat, very happy, go lucky person.
Yes.
And I think that kind of I got a little bit jaded. As we go throughout my life, you look at my college years in Middlebury College, which was one of the most wonderful experiences for me because I found my other tribe, which was the artists, the theater people, the film people, the people who were very much into aesthetics.
Yeah.
And so that had a lot of effect over me on how I had my outlook on life and actually opened my mind even more to the possibilities of what I could do. And then after college, I went and worked on Capitol Hill. Yeah, for 10 years. It was an amazing experience at first. I was actually there I think 1 year or year and a half in, 9/11 happened, things changed, the world got a little bit more serious. Capitol Hill is a very serious place. It was, and after I look back on it, it was a little too serious for me because if you know me.
Yeah, I can imagine you wearing a suit, like sitting around other suits that are like Congress people.
It was.
Unless you're really acting very well.
Well, I was a theater major in school, so it was actually a theater major and political science major. I was a double major.
Okay.
So it was actually a great combination, actually. Okay. And it's a funny thing, I remember going to Capitol Hill with my uncle when I was 14 years old. And I remember sitting around going, my God, this place is so boring. Like C-SPAN was on, the House floor was on, and I would be like, oh my God, my uncle would be so serious, but then my uncle's a very like jovial person as well. So, I look back on it and I said, he did it, and why couldn't I do it? So I spent a number of years, 10 years up there. I had an amazing boss. His name was Rob Andrews. He was from Camden, New Jersey, the second or first poor city actually at that time. And he really wanted to do a lot of good things. So this again was a great influence for me because I saw a person he's very intelligent. He was a lawyer, he went to Cornell, but he had a good sense of humor too. And that's what made it actually very tolerable. Yes. Many a times I would sit on the House floor, and if you look back on the feeds, on C-SPAN, you'll see me cracking up because Congressman Rob Andrews was sitting right next to me, telling me jokes. And at the time we had Blackberries, so so I would see all these emails popping up telling me, why are you laughing? This is a very serious issue that we're talking about on the House floor, and da da da. And then other people would send me, they're like, you're cracking, you're having a great time. But that's how I was, and that's why I got along so well with Rob. And to this day, he's one of the people that I very much look up to, because he taught me that you can really fight. When you want to fight for something, you really can. But you have to know what you're talking about. And you have to do your homework, and you have to study and make sure that when you're presenting before people, that you actually know, what you're saying and what you're talking about. And so that's one thing that we had to do. We had to do, it was known as HR 1 at the time, but they called it Obamacare. But that's a big bill that I worked on. It was the healthcare bill in 2007. And he and I sat there and we read the entire bill.
Oh my gosh.
It took a couple days, but it was because we kept getting interrupted by House votes and whatnot. But we knew exactly what we were talking about. So when he would go and speak on the House floor, speak in committee, we had already read it. We read the bill, we knew what was going on. So that turns me to my attention on to healthcare and why I got into training. Healthcare had always been something that piqued my interest. My family, something that happened to my grandfather really shocked me. My grandfather unfortunately died from heart attack. And then we had a couple people in our family who had a history of heart disease and diabetes and whatnot. So that took my attention, and it was like, well, how can I solve this problem? Now, when you come to medicine on Capitol Hill and Congress, the way that they like to solve problems is to, and this isn't everyone, but this is what's ruling right now, and that is to throw a pill at it. They throw a pill at it and solve the problem, or throw millions of dollars at it to solve the problem. I think the healthcare problem is very easy to solve as long as the correct data is being promoted. And I think we have a lot of false data out there on what is health, what is wellness, what's fitness, what is the proper way to eat. I don't think that the current healthcare system promotes that and looks at it that way. I can tell you because I sat there for several years and looked at healthcare bills and proposals. And when we went to go write the healthcare reform bill, we only allocated, we being the House Representatives and the Senate, $100 million to preventative medicine. Yeah, I know, right?
That's cute.
Yeah, right. It's very, very cute, right? But I can tell you, I sat there and I watched members, like my own boss, wanted more money to preventative health, but they were stopped. And then we know who they were stopped by: the lobbyists who did not want that to occur because they wanted more money to be put towards their vested interest.
To prove or to make themselves relevant to the conversation even.
That's right, yes. But the problem is, it's like, to use a Hillary Duff term, it's like trying to fit a square into a circle, right? That Hillary Duff isn't like, I just remember the song "Let the Rain Fall Down." That's why I remember that. But she's not the person who created that. But that's what a lot of healthcare providers are trying to do. And there's only one right way to do things. There's thousands of wrong ways to do things. But there's only one right way to do things. And so I remember leaving Capitol Hill a little bit jaded about the world in general. Like, can it really be fixed? Seems like special interests are in control, and what the hell can I do about it? So I left. I spent a year looking at what I wanted to do. I started working at a boutique small personal training company, and that's where I met you.
Yes, that's right.
And at first I was just in admin, and then I started learning how to become a trainer. And I loved it. And I had several clients. You were one of my clients. We did some great work. And then I ended up going and working for Washington Sports Club here, became a sales manager, and then eventually Vita Fitness. But during that time, I always remember two of my old clients, Julie and you, contacted me and said, are you ever going to train again? And I said, no, I'm in sales. I'm working for a gym, remember?
What are you thinking?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm working for gyms, and I don't know. And you're like, no. Why don't you think about doing that again? And so we did. Yeah. And we've been going ever since. Yeah. Like, it's just continued on and on. And you can just, like, tell me what did you find to be the most helpful and useful thing when we started training?
For myself, first of all, I had gotten to a point where I was unhealthy enough to feel it.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes you don't know the difference, and it's a gradual thing, right? Mine was born on lack of sleep, poor nutrition, not exercising, because naturally I put everything in what I do for my patients, neglect myself. It's classic. But what I found in you was, I'd had other trainers. I know you probably think that's not possible. But what I found in you was a difference that you had a quality of, you genuinely were interested in me as a person. You didn't see me as, okay, you're going to do this routine and you're going to follow everything that everybody I've trained before has done.
Yeah.
You listened. You empathized with my situation. You understood where I was coming from. And then you were persistent.
Yeah.
I think, certainly going to other places, there are plenty of gyms, other, organizations that provide this level of personal training, and they promote it and market it and all these things. At the end of the day, I just there's no connection and no opportunity to do more than just you're not just my personal trainer.
Right.
You're my friend.
That's right.
You're part of the family.
That's right.
And that's true for everything that that really inspires me to want to do more. Look at you and you're healthy.
Yeah.
It's a role model. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to be like the Adonis that Carlos is, but
that's
I can.
Hashtag Keto Adonis. Thanks. Yeah.
But it was just there has to be a connection.
Yeah, for sure.
For anything, and I felt that certainly was transformative to me. Makes me want to do these things more. But it's also seeing you on your journey. It's inspiring that you have consistently made changes in yourself to get you right where you need to be.
That's right.
And that's just great to be part of it.
Yeah.
It's exciting,
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, especially in this society where everybody's about consuming or who's got this flash or that sort of thing,
right.
Pizzazz on social media.
Yeah.
It's not real.
Yeah. And thank you very much for that. And that's one thing that I hope that all of my clients and know that a lot of my clients see is that I do empathize, that I do care, that I actually am interested in them. Yeah. Because if I'm not interested in them, they're going to be able to tell them I'm not interested in them, and they're not going to want to train with me anymore. But I genuinely have, and this is something, it's very interesting because when I was a kid, I can look back and admit, yeah, I was a little bit about myself, right? And probably in my 20s, I was a little bit about myself. Probably 29, 30, I started to look at it and say, I need to be in the other people. I need to be interested in my family. I need to be interested in my friends. I need to be interested in other people, clients, people that I was signing up for gym memberships. Like, you have to really care about people in this field. You cannot be in this field of health and wellness and not like people, period. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So you have to have interest in people, and what I have discovered is that as I've gone along this journey, my interest in people has become even more. So it goes on like a gradual level of interested in my clients, and then how many more people can I help? Then why can't I just help the whole United States? Why can't I just help the world? And so my mind goes into this very lofty, great ideas about just helping the entire planet, and that's how I've always thought.
I mean, even for myself, I'm an introvert.
Yeah.
I mean, my comfort zone is being in a space that I know it, and socially I'm just not a butterfly, right?
Okay.
I'm much more about, I can do one-on-one,
Yeah.
It's harder for me to interact, but I found that right piece where being able to be connected with somebody gives you so much more.
Yeah.
It's like what you put into it and what you get back from it is, it's unimaginable.
That's right.
And to think of it as like by nature, I'm a carbon copy of my dad. We are cut from the same stone.
Right.
He always would give his shirt off his back for somebody without
That's
even
awesome.
anybody asking. He used to take care of people, and that's in my DNA.
Sure.
So in that sense, just as much as I struggle with being an introvert, that connection, I know that's where I really cherish those things.
Yeah.
And I would say it's given me, and I can imagine you can see this, the transformation that you see with your patients or your clients inspires you.
Yeah,
right?
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
And then so when you do your own things, it's like,
yeah.
Dr. Brown did that. So
That's, I mean, before the pandemic, we lost 30 pounds with you, right? Was it 30?
Maybe. Almost. Wow. Yeah, we're close to 30 pounds.
Yeah, it was close to 30, and it was a huge amount of body fat percentage too, which was key because
that's ridiculous.
I know. Yeah, but it's funny because my methodology has evolved over the years too, as the industry has evolved. Because there is, and what I've found is that many trainers that I've come across, and this isn't all of them, but many think that the way that a person loses weight is to beat a person's body into the ground. Take them through a boot camp class, take them to a high intensity workout, not a high intensity interval training workout. There's a distinction between that because interval training gives you rest.
Yes.
High intensity training, you're just going like, you're just going like an Energizer bunny. However, you can't do that to somebody who's 30, 40 years old, who's been beating up their body their entire lifetime, and then you think that beating it up and putting more stress and more inflammation on it is going to help them do that at all. Yeah. So with the my method evolved, and it's also, and I know that you do this too, with your own craft, is you read articles, you read journals, you constantly are re-educating yourself and getting the latest and greatest out there.
Oh yeah.
And
what I knew 10 years ago, I'm kind of like, he's an idiot. But but it's also learning from people too.
That's right.
What people can do, and it's the connections with people. Like, what is their own belief of what healthy is?
That's right.
And that takes time, and that's why you can't rush it. It's just got to come naturally.
That's right. And a big thing is, if you start to ask people, and sometimes I get a little bit of back off, meaning people like, why are you asking me that? When I ask them definitions of words, right? What's the definition of healthy to you? And they'll look at me and they'll be like, healthy is healthy, It's like, no, it's not. It's actually, there's actually words that describe what healthy is and what fitness is. And these things, basically, I've looked it up in the dictionary. Healthy means that a body that is disease-free and fit, like in a paraphrased form. That's what healthy is. So if you've got disease going on, then your body's not healthy. So then you've got to get your body to a state where it can start to heal itself. And I think a lot of people they just don't know that the body is actually a very powerful machine, that it can actually heal itself. But you have to give it the proper nutrients, the proper vitamins, the proper minerals, good amount of sleep, proper exercise. Get rid of the sugar, which is the issue, or the common denominator of a lot of diseases, in my opinion, that I've seen. So, and I think that this knowledge is so powerful that it can actually change the whole dynamic of the healthcare system. You're gonna get, and I know we've already seen resistance. There's resistance throughout the whole history of America, and going back even further than that, resistance to that.
Well, physicians used to smoke and used to be on advertisements saying, these Marlboros are good for you.
That's right.
Like, oh, really? Okay.
And now we see the result of that. And I think the way that we change the discussion or the way that we move the point of view more towards what we're doing in preventative medicine and fitness and health is to educate people about what's going on.
Yeah.
It's not about going and attacking,
there's
an
no
industry.
Point.
There's no point.
They're going to keep doing what they're going to do.
You're going to keep clashing, right?
Yeah.
But if people are well educated, they know what the terms are of fitness and health and what a carbohydrate is and what a protein is and what a fat is and what the body actually operates off of better, which is a much more efficient fuel source, that is fat, then that re-education can help empower people to make decisions because we live in a capitalistic society. Yeah. So it's all about demand. So the demand right now is, I want sugar.
Yeah.
But if you can educate people and get them educated to switch over and say that my body actually operates better off of fat and that I need to exercise and that I need to have a moderate type of exercise and gradually work myself up to an advanced level.
I mean, you know what the industry will just do? Instead of sugar, once sugar's out of fat, then they'll switch over to fat. And they'll have you buying fat.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Take your own fat and give it right back to you.
Right.
That's how sick it is.
Yeah, totally.
I think education is the key because that is how you get people engaged. There has to be a curiosity.
That's
and there has to be a certain sense of do it yourself. Because nobody else is going to do it for you, right? And I would say it's easy to get on an app and order food and to have it delivered.
Of course.
It takes effort to go to a store, to read the labels, to know what's going inside your body.
That's right.
And it takes effort, but it's really, what do you want of your life? Do you want it to just be kind of sickly?
Yeah.
Not being who you could be?
That's right.
Or do you want to really embrace it, And you don't, sometimes it takes for your grandfather, like having a heart attack. Sometimes it takes somebody to get something so bad.
Yeah.
But then it's too little, too late.
Exactly. And a big thing for me too is I look at it. Now I have we'll say vested interest for when the holiday season comes around. My family is going to see this, so they're going to love this one. I have a vested interest in getting all of them to change their diet. And go to more of a ketogenic diet, because then Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners are going to be healthy.
Yes.
But I get it, because I had food like that for years and I loved it and it tastes delicious and it tastes great. But it's not just that I want that to happen, because that's like secondary, but I want their health to be, that's the primary goal. I want all of them to live long, healthy, prosperous lives, disease-free.
Yeah, if you didn't like them, you'd
then
be like, hey, eat whatever you want.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. No, true. But yeah, I love them and I want them. That's one of my big goals, aside from saving the world. But like to help my family to change their point of view. But it only that happens with re-education, because we never got the proper tools when it came to what to eat and how important exercise is when we were young. So, and
sometimes people just don't know because they just don't know. Sometimes it takes making a change. Like, rather than attacking their Thanksgiving dinner.
That's right.
Maybe you say, okay, for 2 weeks I want you to do this.
Yeah.
And then do it before Thanksgiving. And then when they have that Thanksgiving dinner, they'll be so sick.
Yeah. Now I'm giving all my secrets away. But I have them. I have it plotted on my wall of everyone who I have. My mother, my sister, she's almost there, and then my cousin Asia. Now she's part of it, and now I have several more to work on. Yeah. But it's
transforming.
It's transforming. Yeah. And my aunt has now made. But she made me a great batch of her spaghetti. She has the world's famous spaghetti sauce. I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. I'll give you some.
All right.
But she made it with squash noodles.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that's amazing. Yeah. And I just love the fact that it's just becoming an influence for them. But you can't force someone to do something. No. They have to get it on their own first, and they have to look into it and educate themselves. And
And your family, your tribe is lucky to have you.
Yeah.
Because, if you don't know any,
Yeah.
they just assume, and then early heart disease, and all that other stuff.
But exactly, and you know what? It's also an exchange with my family, because my family has always been there for me too, through the thick and thin. So it's an exchange, and that's why it's such a reward then to see. Like my mom lost over 70 pounds.
Yeah, that's huge.
She made the decision right before COVID, to come onto my program. 70 pounds, 10% body fat down. Yeah. I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
So, I know you understand this as a son, to help your mother.
Yeah.
That's like,
it's what
that's
you want.
gold.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
One of the other things about our relationship is that it's gotten to the point. You're my trainer, but our training sessions are not your typical training sessions.
They're not.
There's a lot of bitching and moaning, and there's a lot of it's just it's lighthearted.
It is very much
The striking difference was when I did join a gym so that I could use their facilities.
Yeah.
And they offered 3 sessions of personal training.
Right.
And we went through, I felt like just like a factory, I was going through a factory. I was like, oh, here's your weight, here's what you need to lose, and this is your and here's the sales package and all that.
Right.
And then, wouldn't you know, the first session, I ended up getting injured. And it was like, okay, won't be doing this. And I mean, no offense, but that's just, this is a commodity. I'm not a commodity.
Yeah, no.
And with you, it's about, we have good times,
Yeah.
There are crazy times, bad times, so it can happen. But, I just enjoyed the journey.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed the journey, and I think what's very important to me in life, which I've come to discover a lot, is loyalty. And I have a lot of loyalty to you, as you have a lot of loyalty to me. We're like,
I felt so dirty when I went to the other personal trainer. I was like, there's 3 sessions. I was just like,
no, but it's fine, because you told me instantly. You said, listen, I did they offered me 3 sessions. I said, why didn't you do the spa? You remember that?
Yeah, I know you.
But it's fine.
Yeah.
It's totally fine, because we are so loyal to one another.
I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I already knew.
Yeah.
But, it was, they didn't offer, they offered hair, and I don't have hair.
Yeah,
so,
me neither.
Yeah.
So. yeah, that got lost on Capitol Hill, actually. So, but and this has been evolved into such a great friendship, and such like, you're a part of my family, I'm a part of your family. And it's an awesome relationship, and that's what I hope to have with all my clients, is that type of relationship. So that, and then, like, because the point of what I'm doing is so that they can then take it to people, their friends, their family, and spread the knowledge.
And you're not trying to approach it as like a big corporation. People could do this, take your body image, market it, and sell it as a program, and then somebody buys it and doesn't use it and doesn't benefit from it.
No.
Yours is very different, and I applaud you for that, because you are taking risks that other people don't take.
I know,
right?
Yeah.
You could easily go work for somebody, but never really get satisfaction out of it.
Exactly.
Working for yourself, doing it yourself. That's very much what I do as a physician too. And, have opportunities to talk about the whole do-it-yourself mentality.
That's right.
You don't have to follow what everybody else does. And I really applaud you for that, because,
Thank you.
If you worked at Vita, it probably would be very different,
Yeah,
or some other, sports club,
And it's different, because they, because what gets lost in translation, I think everyone creates something, right? But I think when you create something and then you pass it down to people who are under you, and you have someone running it for you, you have to be involved in it.
Yeah.
I remember what did I watch? I watched this episode of something, and it was talking about, Steve Jobs was Apple, right? And he was involved in every interview of the company. Every interview they had, he was in the room meeting the new person, because it's your creation. and you don't want those ideas and the concept and the different characteristics of empathy and persistence and being upbeat to be lost in the translation. It has to be maintained.
Yeah.
So when I do grow my company and when I do hire more trainers on and more employees on, you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to be involved in every step of the way. So, yeah.
Well, I'd love to take you around, maybe do a house call or two or something like that.
Yeah, I would love that.
And, you know, if we go to different places, explore it there.
Yeah.
You know, the whole concept of nutrition, exercise, you know, happiness, you know, all of those things are integral to being able to connect, and that's what we hope to show viewers too. Everybody's got a different perspective, and we're all connected.
That's right.
We are not commodities.
Nope.
And we do have the opportunity to do it ourselves.
That's
and
right.
not depend on others. So let's continue the conversations, get out there and enjoy.